not all of us function in linear time. We're not all designed to operate that way, and that's okay. I wanted to come on and give you permission. If you struggle with the getting a planner, setting goals, living your life by this ordinary routine that is a straight line that leads somewhere to a desired product, you're not the only person, and that is okay. It is okay to take the time to find out your own cycles and rhythms. And I bet you'll find that if you're not a straight line person, you probably operate in circles, which means you have patterns of starting like an ignition where things are feeling on fire, expansive, ideas are coming, you're getting lots of intuitive, inspired, creative things coming to you, and there's a lot of momentum in your life. And then you might find that after a while, this fades and you have kind of a crash or a come down period from that where the energy is lower and the momentum seems to halt. And there can be some anxiety and some shame and the, oh my gosh, see, I'm not doing good enough. I'm a failure. And then there is the absolute crash where you're at the bottom and now you've got all the guilt and remorse, and we tend to beat ourselves up in this cycle, and you know, this is where the depression comes in because we treat ourselves like we're supposed to be able to fit in this straight line trajectory, and not all of us do. One of the things that has been really, really helpful to me over the last couple of years as I have taken a lot of time to myself to work on myself and to understand and develop a relationship for myself built in love was that I do operate in these cycles. So I have periods of ignition where I have a lot of momentum and my creativity is in an upward trajectory. And then I have periods of fade where the energy is lowering and I'm not having the ideas coming as fast. My energy is still useful in other directions. It just isn't as useful at the target, at the volume and the pace that I had set at the beginning because I come in hot right off the start. So, and then after fade comes a crash. And this is usually my least productive. This is the winter, right? Where everything feels frozen over. It looks static. I'm largely restful. If there's a depressive phase, this is it. But these are all phases. They cycle through. None of them stick around any longer than I feed them. And now that I know that I have these and I recognize them, I don't have to fight against them. My dog looked like she was going to start barking. I had to give her the don't even think about it eyeballs. She still might. She's thinking very hard about it. But I have recognized that I operate in these cycles. And because I know that I operate on these cycles, when I go to plan things, I am able to plan for all of these phases. I know that they do operate largely by season too. You know, springtime, because winter is cold, my body hurts. I'm inside, so I'm cooped up. That is that is the crash period in my life. Spring, after I've been pent up, is an ignition period in my life. I'm invigorated by all the colors and the flowers and the blooms, like a lot of people are. But I do follow those cycles. I've also become very aware that I have cycles throughout the day, right? Like I know that I have an afternoon low where I am most useful in a restive state, right? And then I'll have an easier evening. But my ignition period is actually really, really early in the morning. So I just wanted to come on and give you permission if you're having a hard time with these A to B plans and goals and schedules, and you're really, really struggling with finding your fit, to give you permission to let go and maybe start looking at your life like a cycle and start planning for that instead. Ways that you can work with this are in your ignition phase, pick one target. Go really all in on that one target, but just give yourself the one. And then when you get into the fade portion of this, where your energy is starting to low, maybe instead of, really going at it and applying effort towards that goal, you kind of take a step back and apply more learning to it. Maybe research some different ways that people are approaching any problems that may have come up. And then the rest phase, give yourself time, like, I'm going to take X amount of time off from any projects and allow myself to recover and kind of let new ideas generate and see where things go. But anyway, I just wanted to come on and say it's okay. You don't have to operate and fit in the way everybody else does, but you can take some time with yourself and figure out and listen to your body, find your natural rhythms, and learn how to work with those. And then, oh goodness, sorry, I lost my train of thought right there. All of my dogs are getting up and wandering around, and I don't know what is so exciting. But anyway, when you start finding your own natural rhythms, life starts to work with you more, and you find like you're fighting with the friction and the resistance a lot less. I'm gonna see what's going on with the girls now. Thanks.